Familiar sight of Tom Stewart with the red scrum cap. Ball tucked under an arm. Cooney for Hume. Smart little step. Cooney goes blind to David McCann. Scored his first Ulster try against the Dragons last time the men of Gwent were in town back in April. O'Toole. Bit of Six Nations game time against Wales last weekend. Kits off. Impressive double tackle from the Dragons forwards. Still Ulster unleashed some shots. Cooney and Burns, the kick for Will Addison! And that is the start that Ulster craved. A bruising week ends with Will Addison skating in to break the deadlock, and that will ease some home nerves.
It's disappointing from a Dragons perspective because they were defending pretty well, you know, dealt with the maul threat, but then we didn't look after that backfield. Good organisation in the front line, but well picked off by Burns, and a good finish.
A really good finish. Billy Burns, he comes under criticism, doesn't he, at times throughout the season. I think it's just because he's inconsistent, but one thing you cannot take away from Billy Burns is his kicking game.
This is a tricky one. It's a familiar outcome. Ulster 7, Dragons 0. And now it's the Dragons who set the drive and try to ram a spoonful of Ulster's own medicine down the home side's throats. They peel to the left and the drive is upped and upped again. The gas pedal is revved. The Dragons are over. What a thunderous forward effort that was.
A brilliant maul try from the Dragons, something that we're used to seeing Ulster doing regularly.
That's 1 from 2 entries. And Will Reid with a sweetly struck conversion. We're level pegging. John Cooney nowhere to be found, so Ulster used Timoney to clear the ball. And Lowry to try scorer Addison, sizing up Blacker, squeezing round the outside, offloading beautifully. McCann, Cooney's making tracks up the inside, but he won't be needed because the hot stepper is on hand. Mikey Lowry sets Ravenhill ablaze again. Different number on his back. Same beautiful outcome for the free scoring winner.
That's easy stuff for Mikey Lowry. He'll run those in all day long. But brilliant from Will Addison to get the ball away, and Cooney obviously in support as well. And Ulster go from deep to get another, hopefully another 7-pointer.
And they are bossing those territorial exchanges tonight. Can they get the points to show for it? Postlethwaite ploughing a deep furrow to within a metre. Marcus Ray took it on. Timoney's prime for the pick and jam. Dragons diving to stop him. Kits off. Somehow the mighty Springbok halted. But the pressure will not abate, and the try will now be scored. And Ulster begin to pull away. And Harry Sheridan scores for the team he grew up supporting.
And that's a karate chop of his own there to get over for a try. And nothing more than what Ulster deserved. The pressure has been coming. Again, Postlethwaite absolutely brutal with his carry up the guts. We thought Kitskoff was getting in for this first Ulster try. He doesn't get there. And then Harry Sheridan. Look at that body position. Nice and low. Leg drive. Couple Ulster boys in behind him. Thanks very much.
Disappointing for the Dragons because they've dealt with a lot of the main threats from Ulster so far.
Ulster looking for the bonus point before half-time. Postlethwaite. He's the heavy hitter in this back line, filling that Stuart McCluskey-shaped hole. James Hume, plenty power in his limbs too. is Achukwu. Ulster making good headway here. Burns, Postlethwaite. Oh, it's exceptional. Sumptuous from Jude Postlethwaite. Teeing up Mike Lowry. Little and large in the scrum caps. Lowry has a double. And Ulster have the bonus points.
You know, if one of your players jams in to make that tackle, because Ulster have taken the ball right to the line, everyone else has to react. And on that occasion, Ewan Rosser reacted just that little bit too late to the change of line, and he managed to get over the try line. As we saw in the first half, when we do it, we get a penalty and we get in the danger zone.
The line out functions well, and the maul immediately gobbles up 3, 4, 5 metres. Tom Stewart concedes the penalty advantage. Dragons with their tanks parked on Ulster's lawn here. Blacker, Hughes running out to in. Hume stops him on the 5-metre line, but Blacker sniping, introducing the heavies. Martinez just short. In the shadow of the Ulster posts now. Is that ball grounded? No. Millimetres. And then no more. And the Dragons do strike. And it's big Matthew Screech, of all people. Hasn't scored a try in 2.5 years. He's got a big one tonight for the region he loves so dearly.
Very organised, very structured, very accurate.
And the maul as well, Aston, really strong tonight. They scored their first try off the maul. And Ulster's maul defence usually isn't that forgiving.
First broken field opportunity for the Thoroughbreds. A little bit long with the kick, and Reid throws the dummy and puts the hammers down, and he's gassed them all. Reid over the top for Baldwin. Has he got the pace to get beyond Lowry? Vital cover tackle from the winger, and the offload pilfered by Stewarts. And now Doak pirouetting, and McCann and Reffel off the deck. Hear 'em, scare 'em rugby in Belfast. And then Hume bringing some pragmatism. And Will Reid's covered an awful lot of ground to get back there. This time it's the boots. And the forwards have all got to run a long way from where they were. And they were still in that 10-metre zone. You've got to retreat further. The Nake Siuli deigned to. Doak, Postlethwaite, Stockdale coming in again. Reffel's held on to that. Cooney goes blind. Stockdale, David McCann, outside, inside, outside again. Try time. And the young flanker brings up score number 5 for the Ulstermen.
Well, it's a lovely try by Ulster, isn't it? Using the extremities of the pitch, holding on to possession really well. Doak at 10. A little hard line by Jacob Stockdale on the unders. We all thought it was a knock-on, didn't we, when Rafael picked it up, but he regathers, and then that's just a simple 3-on-1 really in the corner. Dave McCann could have given the pass to James Hume, but he didn't need to. Backed himself and got his side another 5-pointer in the corner.
Got the class and capability to wear that jersey. And John Cooney doing the business again. Screech. McCann slows it up. Lonsdale next to have a crack. And David McCann tipped off it. Coghlan, try. Much, much better from the Dragons. Much more ruthless, much more clinical, and a little more respectable scoreline now. Tony Coghlan with his first try for the Dragons in his 15th appearance for the region.
And over the last 10 minutes, it's sort of flip-flopped. Dragons have been keeping the retention.
Ackerman, Reid, Baldwin, not. Siuli riding side saddle. Ulster still ahead by 16 points. The Dragons looking for a 4th try. Pass is loose. Recovered just about by Hugh Anderson, who's on for his Dragons debut. But he's been robbed of possession on the ground. And the Dragons will need to look lively here because Nathan Doak sees a lot of space back there. And Dan Lydiate is having to do an awful lot of late chasing. But Will Reid, cleverly done, dexterously done. On the deck, commando crawl. Up he gets and off he goes. Ball's been in play a long old time here.
I was just going to say, there's probably a few boys that want this ball to go straight off.
I reckon Dan Lydiate's lungs are like a couple of old crisp packets about now. Bertranou doesn't hit touch. Nathan Doak, play rages on. Torturous for the heavy forwards out there. Joyous for the likes of Jacob Stockdale on the carry. Cooney and John Andrew, a little stutter step. Cooney, Doak and Treadwell and Lowry, who's on a hat-trick. Doak over the top. Stockdale puts the hammers down, straightens. Timoney! That might be the pick of them. Ulster cleave the Dragons open in the dying embers and reassert their dominance.
The Dragons were in full flow and attack, and a little ball out the back went to ground, and then all of a sudden Ulster pounced. And when they pounced, they get into the right position. A lovely kick by Nathan Doak to put the pressure on them. As you said, Ashton, the Dragons wanted the ball to go off the pitch, and it didn't. And a couple of phases later, Nick Timoney keeps his width, and in fairness to Jacob Stockdale, really unselfish play there. He could easily win in himself. And Ulster finishing in style here tonight.
You know, it's a bit of a lose-lose situation, and this is a tough one to take because I feel that Dragons' defence, you know, ignoring the scoreboard, has been pretty strong on the whole.
Cooney to the Belfast Skies. Tap back for Reffel. And he's got some pace to burn the back row. Andrew quickly on to Cooney. Timoney, back at Sheridan. Doak, Treadwell, fantastic line. They're flooding through the middle now. Marshall caught by Ackerman, but David McCann's on his shoulder. And it's globetrotter stuff from Ulster. And they're feeling an awful lot better about themselves tonight.
Yeah, they sure are. This is exactly what Ulster would have wanted. All the fans here have turned up to the Kingspan Stadium. It's a pretty big margin of victory. Brilliant lines, brilliant offloading, flooding the channels. Really good work rate off the ball.
I think that's what that try came down to, really, wasn't it? It was that work rate off the ball and those supporting lines. And I think at the end of the day, they just outworked Dragons a little bit there. You know, and even though we've shifted a lot of points, you know, our defence, there's a huge contrast there as well with regard to missed tackles. But, you know, super proud of the pack. Every opportunity now on that they've got, you know, they've put the Ulster pack under pressure. After a lot of pressure in the scrum, you know, they could be proud. They could be proud, especially the second half.
The Dragons happy to take their bonus point and make good their escape.